Hey, Rob, what's that?
What's what?
That thing right in front of you, man.
Oh, you mean the script that's telling me to remind our listeners to subscribe to Geeklirious on iTunes or any platform of their choice?
Yeah, but wasn't there more?
Alright, let me take a look. Hey, there's a part where I tell the listeners to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter using our handle @Geeklirious.
Yeah, that's the best line I ever wrote.
Oh, crap. I deleted it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 41 of Geeklirious. My name is Brian Cambriello. His name is Mike Tessmacher.
Hey.
How you doing today, Mike?
I'm great.
Yep. Good. I'm proud to be here right in the middle of Geeked Up Comics and Games, located in beautiful North Passapequa, New York. Yes. Big ups to the guys here for letting us record here every week.
Yeah, get your books.
Get your collectibles.
Get your other
games.
Things that you get from that.
Yeah, your games, your comics. Yeah. And if you want to follow the guys here at Geeklirious, we are available on pretty much every social platform.
YouTube.
And Facebook.
Facebook page. And
Instagram.
Twitter.
And
Instagram.
Yep.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. And if you want to contact us directly, our email is @geeklirious@gmail.com.
Yes. And also subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play if you use those.
Absolutely. Give us that 5-star review.
Please.
Greatly helps.
Thank you.
Alright, so today's topic is going to be, we're talking those video games that you've played the longest, the ones you can't stop playing, the ones you can't seem to put down even after beating it a couple times, or you just want to bang out those extra collectibles, get a new high score, whatever it is. It's those video games that you just love to keep replaying over and over.
Yeah.
But first, let's do, as we always do here on Geeklirious, a little bit of catch up with our hosts. So, Mike, you started off as normal, as you normally do. What have you been doing for the past week?
Still playing one of the games we will be talking about in a little bit that I've been playing.
Spoiler. Spoiler.
And Dead Cells, I've been playing more of that, really enjoying that. Still not great at the game, but I'm enjoying it. It's really fun. It's like it really depends on the weapons you get when you start off. It determines, like, okay, am I gonna do a long run for it, or I'm pretty much gonna die, after the first level. So, that's still good. Been reading more comics. I finally got to read Fantastic Four, #1.
Finally? So what did you think?
I like it. People had problems because it doesn't actually have the Fantastic Four in it.
What?
Most of the issue, you only see two of the Fantastics. You see Human Torch and thing. So, basically it's a story, it shows them, it shows Doctor Doom as well.
So laying out some backstory?
Yeah, they're pretty much just
establishing the world and...
Yeah, because they are returning. They're gonna be an issue 2, them together again, hopefully, so yeah, it's cool.
Is this Fantastic Four, this is not a reboot, this is a continuation?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic, they were thought dead or missing, and they've been out in space for a long time, for about 3 years in comics. So, yeah, they've been a while, and Human Torch and Thing have just been kind of doing their own type of stuff. It's pretty good.
Vigilante type stuff, or just kind of living life?
A little bit of both.
That's good.
There's some cool stuff that they've been doing. So they've had their own comic going, like Marvel 2-in-1s. So that was cool. And yeah, now it's back. So I'm really been enjoying that. Other than that, no. There's been kind of a lull. I'm just waiting for Spider-Man at this point, and now for season 2.
No, yeah, a lot of good stuff coming. This is we're almost entering like video game season, so this is where it starts because all the companies release their games before the holiday season. So September, October is where it starts. November.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy fall and winter for games.
Yes, it is, and
for movies, some good stuff too.
Yeah, Venom's coming out.
We'll see how that turns out. Also, what was that other movie? Predators?
Yeah,
Predator, I guess.
Predator?
I don't know what
it's
called.
Is that a reboot?
It's a new Predator movie. It's not a reboot. Actually, I don't know if it's a reboot. We'll see.
Yes, so we'll keep you updated on all that
What
stuff.
about you?
So, I finally finished Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, as much as you can finish it, I still might go back and do a couple more little things here and there.
Like a New Game Plus, or like just, like...
No, there's no New Game Plus, but the way the game works is that once you complete the game, it creates a save file right before the last fight.
Yeah.
So you can go back and just...
Go around,
do all the extra collectibles, and there's...
little odds and ends.
There's these little things called data bosses, which are like... or data battles, and it's essentially like all of the bosses from the game, but you fight them on a harder difficulty.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy did that a lot.
So Square Enix, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So that, you beat those, and there's there's these little things called absent silhouettes, which are like, they take the bosses from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, who have already died, and you can go back and fight them, and then once you do, it unlocks some like special stuff you can't get anywhere else.
Okay.
So you fight I think there's 5 of them, and you fight pretty much the 5 main bosses from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So I might go back and finish those because I still had 1 left. I couldn't beat Marluxia because I don't like the way, because it doesn't go by health. It goes by like there's a point system, and you can't get hit more than a couple points. And I'm one of those people that likes to kind of like take some hits and like kind of figure out strategy as I'm playing.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because like I keep dying before I figure out the strategy. And there's a way to like refill your points, but I'm not very good at it. I might go back and play that. But as far as the game goes, it ended on a very happy ending, which I still have, granted, plenty of more Kingdom Hearts stuff to play to understand the full story. But I feel like if the game were to end at that point, it would have been like alright, you finished, you saved the universe. Yeah. Obviously there's more stuff, because there's a Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out, and there's tons of more Kingdom Hearts games. I think some of that are prequels, some that are sequels.
Really?
Yeah. I think the next one I play, in quotations, is 300 and something over 2 days or whatever. I don't know. But it's like a movie, and then you play Birth by Sleep, which is actually like a prequel game. Anyway, but as far as Kingdom Hearts 2 goes, absolutely loved it. Far superior to the first game in pretty much every aspect. The only thing I thought that Kingdom Hearts 1 did better was the final boss. I enjoyed the final boss in Kingdom Hearts 1 much more.
The boss or just that ending?
The boss itself. The ending is, I think, of both games were fine. Like, 1 left it open more, but 2 also had a bit of an ending kind of thing, but it was definitely much more happy and complete. Okay. I don't want to spoil the ending for those of you who were still trying to play the game, but it's definitely a more happy ending than the first game. The first game kind of ended in kind of like a limbo state where like you did a bunch of cool stuff, but like there were still characters missing that you need to go find. Mm-hmm. This one, you pretty much know where everybody is, so there's no more characters. But the final boss was pretty easy, I thought, and I played on Proud Mode, which is like the I guess 3 out of 4 difficulty. There's 4 levels of difficulty. I played on the 3rd.
It's like the medium.
It would, I guess, if you're going on like easy to hard, it would be like, so if it was like easy, medium, hard, very hard, I was playing on hard.
Okay.
Which, it was, honestly, I thought it was pretty easy, but by the end of that game, you pretty much become a Super Saiyan. Like, legitimately, you're just flying around, and, like, it's crazy. You have so many different forms you can go into. You're literally a Super Saiyan. Spiky hair and all. Yeah, so that was a really fun game. I thoroughly enjoyed it and liked the storyline. I think you would like it because it's a lot more fluid. Mm-hmm. The animation is a lot better, and I feel like and one of my favorite things is my favorite Disney character is Stitch. Stitch is a summon in that game. He's also, in my opinion, the most useful summon. So I used him constantly, and he's freaking adorable, and I love him. He's great. Other than that, I started watching the show Disenchantment on Netflix.
Yes, yeah.
Really good. Creator Mac Groening, whatever. I think I talked about this a little bit last week. I watched a little bit more of it. Still loving it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. It was funny.
I think it's really funny. I love Eric Andre as Lucy, the demon. Mm-hmm. He's great, and Elfo is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like the way they kind of like contradict each other's like personalities. It's good. Other than that, I think that's pretty. Oh, and I took a trip to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yes.
In New Jersey, and I visited the original Clerk store where that was filmed.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool. As a big Kevin Smith fan, it was nice to see where everything was filmed and the you know the door where Caitlin comes out of after the thing with the dead guy? Mm-hmm. That door literally looks exactly the same. Like, it has not changed.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, this is where she leaned against it after coming out of the door, like thinking Dante was in there, but in reality it was not Dante.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I bought something, so I got to literally, like, touch the counter where, you know, Dante, like, sold people cigarettes and, you know... It was really cool. Really cool stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Have you ever been out there?
No.
Oh, we should take a day trip. You probably really like it.
We should.
It was fun. It was a bit of a drive. It was like 2.5 hours from where we were located, but it wasn't too bad. We just played some tunes and we got food and stuff. There's a really cool, like right next door, there's a place called Surf Taco, and they have fish tacos and regular tacos, chicken tacos, quesadillas, all kinds of interesting stuff. Really good food though, and cheap too.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely have to make a pilgrimage over there.
Oh yeah, gotta visit the Mecca.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that about wraps up the catch of house cleaning. So yeah, as we noted before, we're going to be talking about some of the games that we played the most. You know, best replayability, ones that we didn't want to put down and just keep playing. So Mike, why don't you start off your list? We're going to do 5 each. And we'll mix in some honorable mentions here and there. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I was alluding to earlier about The Witcher 3.
Yes.
That was the game I was talking about, if you guys can figure it out. It's just getting better and better. Like, I started the DLC for it, the added on stuff, and it's, like, better than the original game stuff, which is crazy in my mind. So it's like the replayability of that game between, just playing the game once is like crazy long, but then you can do a new game plus and do all the expansion story stuff. It's crazy. I've spent like a little over 100 hours the first playthrough. And I'm probably about that right now in this playthrough. So, yeah. I played a lot of it. It's probably the longest game that I've been playing for the past few years. Maybe even of the PlayStation 4 generation.
Wow.
Yeah. On PlayStation 4, it's probably the game I've played most.
Okay, so it's a long game. And then on top of that, there's different choices that you can make that affect the outcome.
Yes. Yeah, there's so many different choices.
Yeah, that, I think, on itself, is a great way to replay games, seeing the different options that you have.
Yeah, and it's not even, like, a thing of, like, oh, I can say this instead of that, like, in a conversation. No, it's like, if you find this part of the world, like if you visit this area, you can completely change a quest further down. and stuff. So it's just really involved and in depth, and like I'm still wrapping my head around it. I'm probably gonna have to do another playthrough as well. So like it's ridiculous. Yeah, but I love it and it's awesome. And Siri is just I love Siri. She's like the...
Is it like your love interest?
Not in the romantic sense, in the daughter sense, yeah.
Oh, he's your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about that game.
She's just so cool, and she's like super... Like, there's parts in the games where you get to play as her.
Okay.
Like, because Gerald, her father, he's looking for her in like half the game, so like he's like hearing tales of like places that she's been from, people she's like met with, and he's like trying to figure out where she is and stuff. So like they talk about, I met her because she was running away from people and she came to me, and this is how she, and you know, the whole story. And then you get to play like the parts that she was talking to them about. So it's really
cool. That's cool.
There's like really cool stuff.
That's
like
a cool
that.
Little mechanic.
Yeah, and she can like teleport and stuff. Like she does this little teleport dash thing, and you can just like, she's so much quicker than Gerald. Like you can just zip around and just combo people, and it's really awesome.
That does sound pretty cool.
What about you?
All right. In no particular order.
Yeah, no order with these.
All right. Since you started out with like an RPG, I'm gonna also do some RPG stuff.
Okay.
I couldn't really narrow it down because they're so similar in style. But I'm gonna say Skyrim and also like the Fallout games, because they're both made by Bethesda.
Yeah.
And they have a very similar style. But I'm gonna talk mostly about Skyrim because that's the game I played. But
I have that on my list, so I'll talk about it with you.
Perfect.
As well.
So obviously Skyrim, very similar to the way you were describing The Witcher. There are so many different choices and things to do.
Yeah.
Factions to join and groups to hang out with, you know, and you can pretty much like, you know, save/kill anybody you want in one way or another. I mean, obviously there's certain people you can't, but for the most part, you can destroy an entire town if you want. Like, who's gonna stop you?
Yeah,
maybe
just save before, and then just slaughter the whole town, see what happens.
So the fact of the matter is, from the very start of the game, there's so many different options to choose, and there's so many different play styles.
Yeah.
So if you can choose a Khajiit, or whatever they're called. Khajiit. I think it's Star Wars Kashyyyk. You can choose a human. You can choose an ogre, or not ogre, an orc. You know, and they each have their separate abilities.
Yeah.
And then you go on and you can choose like, oh, I want to be an archer, or I want to be a thief, or I want to be a little bit of both. Maybe I want to be a total magic wielder. Maybe I want to be a brick, you know, like a freaking crazy strong dude with heavy armor and double swords, or a big hammer or something. You can really suit your playstyle any way you want. And I think that's what gives this game so much replayability. Yeah. I've played through it like so many times, just playing as like, okay, last time I played, you know, a heavy armor, like barbarian type. This time I'm gonna do a mage with like, you know, lockpicking skills. Like, you know, there's so many different ways to play the game just from picking the way you start off the game. Yeah. And then in addition to that, the choices that you make. So, and the same thing goes with the Fallout games. It's...
Yeah, for me, Fallout's okay, but yeah, Elder Scrolls...
I think Skyrim is a superior game for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I guess just because I like high fantasy more than retro futurism.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, just, I don't know, I like dragons and swords and magic instead of mutants and walking corpses and all that stuff. Well, walking corpses I'm cool with, but Elder Scrolls got that too.
Bands of, what are they called in the game?
Raiders?
The Raiders, yeah.
Yeah. And the stupid freaking super mutants that turn invisible.
No, the super mutants are annoying, but
I hate them so much.
I hate some of the animals in that game. The Death Claws.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like OP for no reason. Like, Jesus. But yeah, like you were saying with Elder Scrolls, just so much you can do. And unlike The Witcher, where it's kind of like you're that character and you're making decisions like that, with Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general, like, you can play, like, you almost make up your own background. Like, okay, I'm going to be an orc barbarian this time, and, I'm just going to make up his background, like how he got to Skyrim and he was a prisoner. Like, maybe he just did mercenary work for this the Stormcloaks or something. Like, there was cool like stories you could just like
make your own
make up in your own.
It's called headcanon. You know? Like, exactly. Just make you can make up your own backstory.
Yeah, just
it's essentially like Dungeons and Dragons, the video game. Like, it really is.
Yeah, you make a save right before you create your character, and you're good to go. So you don't have to watch that boring opening 50 million times.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I didn't even think about doing that.
You never did that?
That's incredibly smart. No, yeah.
Yeah, you can make like a save like right when you get off the thing that was taking you to
the cart.
Whatever that was, the buggy or whatever it was.
It's called like a cart.
Yeah, it was a cart. Yeah.
Like a wagon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
A carry-on or whatever.
Carriage. Horse and carriage.
Yeah. You can make a save like right before that, and that saves you like. I mean, it sounds like it wouldn't be a big deal just to go through the intro, but when you want to like hop right back in, you don't want to sit through.
Yeah, when you sit through a freaking dialogue, we're talking about Ulfric Stormcloak for about like 15 minutes. Yeah, it gets pretty grating on you. No, and I've watched that intro plenty of times because, as I've said, I've played the game through so many times that like, I've watched that opening cutscene like tons.
Yeah,
and the dragon comes, and you're about to get beheaded, and
were you the type of player that did like one playthrough and did like all this stuff, or did you have like separate playthroughs for like separate builds?
Ring, 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 banana phone. We good? Okay. I did everything in one playthrough.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, that kind of like... I never liked doing that. I would have like separate characters. Like,
no, it does make sense.
My thief wouldn't be in an Imperial, like, he wouldn't be, like, that would mess up my world. My whole headcanon would be destroyed.
I guess that makes sense. I always joined the Thieves Guild because I always needed I never wanted to deal with the lock picking, so I just I did the part where you get the ultimate lock pick or whatever it's called, and then just never did the mission to return it.
Just the skeleton key.
The skeleton key, yeah. That's literally everything I did. The first chance I got, I went to the Thieves Guild and completed their stuff. Because not only do you get really badass armor, you get a lot of cool stuff from that mission, and then you get that skeleton key.
Yeah, you pretty much look like Black Panther at that
You do, yeah.
And it's badass, and you can walk around without anyone noticing you, and you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Thieves Guild stuff.
That's cool.
Except the walk into the sewers and stuff, that got kind of annoying. But then eventually you can just...
You get the secret passageway.
Right to that. So that was cool. I guess that was both of ours. So do you want to start off with the next one?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna talk about, this is another one where I kind of combined a few different ones because they're the same thing, but, wrestling video games.
Okay.
So I'm a huge fan of starting off with like, WCW versus NWO, Revenge,
yes.
Back for the N64, No Mercy, stuff like that, World Tour.
Yes.
Moving my way into like some of the PlayStation games, Warzone for the PlayStation 1, and then eventually like
Warzone was so terrible.
Oh god, it was terrible. Yes, it was. And then you got better games like Shut Your Mouth, one of my favorites of all time. Here Comes the Pain, one of my favorite like games of all time.
Yeah, that was probably like the last. Was that after Shut Your Mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been like the last.
It was one of the last
ones,
and except I think SmackDown vs. Raw, the original,
yeah,
came out, and then they started off with I think it was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, I think was the first one.
And then they did like 06, 07.
And then they did up till 11, and then they changed the name from SmackDown vs. Raw to WWE.
Yeah.
And then they went to WWE 12, WWE 13. Then they got bought out by 2K, and it was 2K14, 2K16, 2K17, 2K18, and then next month 2K19 will come out with the phenomenal AJ Styles.
I do like AJ
on the
Styles.
cover. Yes, the house that AJ Styles built. Anyway, I don't get to talk about wrestling too much on the podcast, so let me get my...
Remember that TNA game? Ugh.
That wasn't that bad. That had some pretty cool stuff in it. It was more arcadey than the simulators like the SmackDown vs. Raw games.
It reminded me of the also crappy. It was like the WWE Legends one. Remember
God,
that?
yeah, that was terrible.
That was
the
terrible.
Legends was like a QuickTime freaking player.
Yeah.
TNA actually was pretty cool, that game, and it had really good graphics. Like somebody actually did like a side by side comparison of like the TNA video game graphics to the like this current WWE graphics, and like some of the TNA stuff honestly looked better, and we're talking like almost like a 10-year difference at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, super cool. I always loved creating my own character. I spent hours like tweaking characters, making extra costumes. Depending on the game, sometimes there's story mode, sometimes there's not, sometimes there's a career mode, just tweaking movesets,
making sure your like created character has the right moves.
Yeah,
the
making
finisher,
entrances,
the
making, setting pyro off to go at the right time. Like, I spent so many hours of my childhood, like, tweaking and creating wrestlers, and then going on to cause.ws.com and downloading the specs to make characters that weren't in the game. Like, I went really in depth.
Okay.
So, like, because, you gotta have AJ Styles in your video game back before he was in WWE.
Yeah.
And you gotta have, like, Abyss and... some of the old TNA wrestlers, and even this game, the newest game.
Curryman, of course.
Curryman! Who could forget Curryman, aka Christopher Daniels? Like even in this game, I have like Okada and Omega. I have the Young Bucks. Of course, they're all downloadable. I don't even have to download specs anymore. I can just download the characters straight from their little, their like the community creations. So I can have whole rosters of players that aren't in the game that people who have much more time than me have painstakingly created characters.
Yeah. But I feel like then that takes like away some of like the fun of like, okay, I'm gonna make him look like, Bruce Willis in Die Hard or something. Like, I don't know, like I always like
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I know. We don't, but like that was always the fun stuff of the, and then like the wrestling was like, okay, that's cool.
And I still make my own characters.
Let me tweak the characters again.
So like, I make really cool characters all the time. I give them backstories. Almost like Skyrim, They're like, oh, this guy is an up and comer from New York and he came up on the streets and he's like you give them backstories, you give it's fun. And you can spend so much time just doing that. I've spent probably more time than any other game playing wrestling games, just tweaking entrances and making the best characters and making really awesome my own pay-per-views and playing general manager and that's something that should come back. If you're listening 2K, bring back general manager mode because that was really cool. I like that a lot. Where you play as a general manager and you almost played like fantasy WWE. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I've talked enough about this. Mike, what is your next one?
I wanted to talk about a PlayStation Vita game called Persona 4.
Okay.
I've talked about Persona 5 on PlayStation 4.
Right.
But there's something about that it being handheld just really lends itself to that style of game where you can just play on and on. You don't have to be confined to a TV. I can play it while I'm supposed to be working. I can play it while I'm supposed to be studying. I can play it while I'm supposed to be sleeping. I can do that.
So pretty much the game just helps you to procrastinate?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be called Persona. It should be called Procrastination 4?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Definitely.
Cool.
I love the Persona games. Persona 4 specifically. I think that's the pinnacle of that series, at least for me. I really like 5 too, but I haven't even beaten Persona 5 just because, I don't know, maybe just because it's on my TV now. I feel like, I don't know, it being mobile just let me play it way more. Like, right. On my Vita, I can just, like, I don't ever have to, like, shut it off. I can just pick up my Vita and play it. You know, do a quick dungeon or, like, one day in the time or whatever. And it was just really convenient, and I really liked it, and I put an obscene amount of hours into that game. Probably, like, 500 plus.
That's crazy. Yeah, I do the same thing with my Switch.
Right?
I bring the Switch to work. I play it on my break sometimes.
You would think not, but it really just fits so perfectly. Yeah. Like when that game came out, oh man. Whew.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got a 15-minute break or something. Break out your game, play a little bit. You know?
Yeah. So Persona 4, one of the best RPGs of all time, in my opinion. I'm not alone with that too. Most people would say the same. Definitely, probably the number one reason to have a Vita. Yeah, I love it. Really awesome gameplay. You know, standard turn-based-esque stuff, but you're also doing the high school stuff, and you know, it's a murder mystery, but also there's fighting, and there's also like the Pokemon-esque collecting monsters, aka personas, and fusing them, and there's a lot of cool stuff collecting them and doing all that stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, and the relationships and the story is just really great, and the characters that you meet, the little girl, I'm forgetting the names, it's been a while, but the little girl, she was so sweet. Nanako, I think her name was, but Nanako.
That sounds very Japanesey.
Yeah, she's just so adorable, and she's like your like little sister. She becomes like your little sister because she lives with you or whatever, and it's just so sweet. Really enjoy it. Can't say more better things about it. I really wish they would put Persona 4 like a remaster on the PS4, just so more people could play it. But yeah, that's a game right there. Super awesome. What about you, Brian?
All right.
Where do you want to go?
All right. I'm going to talk about a little game for the GameCube called Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh, man.
So,
why, Brian?
This game sucked so much time out of my childhood.
Really?
One word. Chows. Taking care of these little blue mother... You have no idea how much time I invested into taking care and leveling up these stupid freaking blue chows. Or chos.
See, I never played that one. So.
Oh my god. It is mind-numbing. If I could go back in time and smack my younger self for spending so much time replaying Sonic levels just to farm things to give to my Chow. Mm-hmm. Oh my god! There's many things I regret in life, and this might be one of them. But it's so addicting, leveling up the Chows and and making your own, and you know you can turn them from. You can make a light Chow, a dark Chow. You can keep them neutral. You know, unlocking the two separate areas, and the one in heaven, the one in, I guess it's like a hell, like a dark world. Yeah. It's like the game itself, without even the Chows, is a big game because you play the heroes, you play the villains, and then you play the final. I guess story, the ending of the game where you play as both sides to, you know, where you play as Super Sonic and Hyper Shadow, and you go destroy the big lizard in the sky or whatever. I don't know. Those games are so weird. But trying to S rank or whatever it is, all of the levels to unlock the secret things. There, you can play the original Green Hill Zone if you get all the. It's cool. They've remastered it in 3D for that game. It's pretty cool. But I'm talking freaking chows, man. They suck so much life out of me. And then you put them in the tournaments, and you make them do karate and swimming.
That seems
really, dude. They're like.
Doesn't sound like a Sonic game,
dude. It's not. I spent more time on the chows than actually playing the Sonic game.
Oh man.
Dude, yeah, me and my cousin Jen, like back in the day, she would bring her memory cards over, and we'd make our chows fight each other and stuff to gain experience. Dude,
yeah.
I was obsessed. But yeah, the fact that they added an element into that game that was so addictive, it was almost like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah,
you know, but like it was like Tamagotchis on crack.
Oh man. I did not think a Sonic game was going to be on this list.
Dude, it was so peaceful, just taking care of the little bloom of...
Yeah, you like that?
Dude, I'm telling you. I don't even know if I would, like... I would never go back and play that game. But yeah. I'm telling you, if you're really in...
What system is that? GameCube?
GameCube.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yep. It was a direct sequel to the original Sonic Adventure.
I think that was Dreamcast. The last, like, that might have been the last Sonic game I ever played.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, pretty good, super cheesy, and the chows were time suckers, and I spent so much time playing with them, and we had so many of them. Me and my brother would just go on, and I remember we had one that was called Spike, and he was the best one, and he was like, he was like an amalgamation, like, we just threw everything at him. Like, literally all the other chows, like, just were, like, probably in deficit. And he was, like, in an overabundance of stats and animal pieces. He was freaking weird. Anyway, alright, I'm done talking about this.
Okay, me next. San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, I also had, a Grand Theft Auto. I had 4.
Okay, yeah.
So we can talk about this together.
Absolutely. San Andreas, wow. My favorite out of the GTA series.
I can see why.
Just something about the whole setting, that LA, California. It was really, for a game, like, I guess now you kind of see that more. Like, there's been other games set in LA Noir, and
good game also.
Another Rockstar game.
Yeah.
And there's there's been other stuff like that, but that game, man, like, you could be a fat CJ, you could be a muscle CJ, you could ride the bike around, you could do the races, you could upgrade your cars, and the great story, of course. I think that really had, like, the best, like, some of the best characters, in the GTA franchise. I liked all of them. I liked Sweet, I liked, CJ, obviously. I like the cops. Samuel L. Jackson was one of the cops. That was great.
Yeah.
There was so much good stuff in that, and the gameplay, you could just do so much in it. Yeah, I mean, I know GTA 5, you can do more now, and you can be a golfer or whatever, and a bicyclist and stuff. But San Andreas just had that cool, and you could take over, like, gang territory, and shoot at the ballers, and you'd roll around with your posse, and it didn't matter if they looked all the same. I would always get the guys with the green plaid.
Honestly, San Andreas was like the game I played the least.
Really?
Yeah, not because I didn't like it, just I didn't get it until later on.
Oh man!
And I played mostly 3 in Vice City.
Okay.
Until I got 4.
Okay.
And then 4 I played the living hell out of.
Yeah.
Gigantic world and all the side missions and
the return to Liberty City.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Nico
Bellic.
Hey, my cousin. Let's go bowling.
That was really cool. I really liked
I love Roman.
The relationship in that one with the girl in it or whatever, because you meet it from her cousin or whatever, and there's like a relationship. Really good stuff in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say all the Grand Theft Auto games are so good at like investing time. Like they're still coming out with updates to Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. Like I haven't played that game in a while. Yeah. I had it for the Xbox 360, and then when I moved, I never hooked back my Xbox. I just have my PlayStation now, right now, and my Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But I played the hell out of 5. But 4 is the one that I think I played the most. Just playing online with your friends. You know, you get into your little posse and you drive around just causing mayhem. You know, going to the military base, stealing the helicopters. It was cool. It was a lot of fun to play online. Expansive world. You can roam around for hours just exploring the world and finding little hidden secrets. And of course, there's the freaking pigeons, collecting the pigeons.
Yeah.
You know, smashing into hot dog carts. Who doesn't love that stuff?
Yeah. Really good stuff.
No, yeah, and then obviously there's so much you can do with like customization.
Yeah. Just hanging out at the strip club. You know, it was it was fun.
I remember that.
Really good stuff. Yeah, I like San Andreas. The 4, you can't go wrong with 4 as well. Really
I think 4 is probably in my opinion, is the best Grand Theft Auto game.
Okay.
I'd say San Andreas is definitely probably a close second, and then 5. 5 is very good. It's just the story for me is a little lacking.
Couldn't cut
but
it,
the gameplay is fantastic.
I just didn't like the characters in 5. There was no one I was like, okay, Franklin was cool, but besides that, like,
I like Trevor.
Like he was cool, like as a side character. I didn't like want to play as him.
Yeah,
even though he was like crazy and all that stuff.
I would have preferred to play as Franklin.
Yeah,
and then have Michael and Trevor be like
just characters,
side characters. Maybe you play as them for like a mission or 2.
Yeah,
but you mostly play as like I don't know. I think dividing the time up amongst the different characters. Was just, I don't know, it's too much.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, I feel like because they did that, they didn't give, like, enough of any of them. Like, it's like,
that makes sense.
Okay, they're putting 3 of them, but really all together, it's like the amount of detail for, like, 1 of them. So it was like, there wasn't enough good characters, and I hated the other guy because his family was crap. I didn't like them.
Well, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, I hated his family so much.
They sucked, and...
Wasn't his wife, like, banging the yoga instructor or something, or the tennis instructor?
Like, that stuff's cool. Like, I wanted him to be a character, but I wanted, like, Franklin to have to do stuff for him, and, and those are the people that he's going on heists with. Like, I would have way rather that. I didn't want to play as them. I don't know. Something about that.
No, I totally get where you're coming from.
Like, even instead of Franklin, like, I would like to have them in there as characters, but I would have liked to just play as my creative character. You know?
Yeah, that would have been cool, too. Almost like you do in Saints Row.
Yeah.
Where, like, you're the mob boss, but you create your own character.
Yeah, just create your own character, and you could be more like Michael, or more like Trevor, or Michael, or more like Franklin. Like,
that would be pretty cool. If, like, you had the choice between, like, hanging out with all 3 of them, and, like, you gained, like, experience and attributes from each one, but, like, the more, like, you did of one storyline than the other, like, the more you hung out with Trevor, like, you got addicted to crack or something. And
or you get the +1 meth, meth attributes.
Make sure, like, more pain resistant or something.
Yeah, something.
Kind of like, I forget what game it is, but the more beer you drink, like, the stronger you get or something.
Yeah, or Franklin, he gives you a pit bull or something like that.
Something weird.
Some cool stuff like they could have worked with in the 5th one kind of.
Franklin gives you like a cool car, or Michael gives you money or something, like, you know,
something.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, agreed. So who goes next? Me? We kind of did both of those together. So
you said Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I said 4, so 4. You would go next.
Okay. We're getting down there.
Yes, we are. I think I only have 1 left.
I have 1 and an honorable mention.
I have 1 and 4 honorable mentions.
Okay. My number 1. Now, this was tough. My number 1, it could change at any time, but I picked Disgaea. Any of the Disgaeas.
I've literally never heard of that game, so you're going to have to explain.
I think I've talked about it before. It's pretty much it's a strategy RPG, so it's pretty much like chess, but with characters that you can level up, and they have different moves and all that kind of stuff. You get a playing field. You play as the son of the devil, and you're recruiting like other like you're recruiting like an army and stuff to like a hell army, and it's funny though. It's goofy, and like all the characters look like chibi characters, and you control like the prinnies, which are penguins, and they're adorable, and they say "dude" a lot.
That sounds like me.
And it's really funny and cartoony, but the strategy and the gameplay is just so awesome. You can take a character, like say your character only can move like 3 spaces. You can pick that character up with another character and throw them somewhere, and like to get them further up the map or stuff, or you can keep your archers, and like you can just like there's different class you can make. There's archers and mages and white mages and black mages and all sorts of different goofy classes, and they all different cool moves, and it's a really hard game to describe, but yeah, it's really just chess, but like you get to like put you can put a certain amount of characters on the map at once, and you pick who you're using. I like to you get like you don't want to put you can put like only 3 characters on the map if you're like trying to level them up, or you could put like 10 characters if you just want like if you have like a few, like you could put 10 level 5 characters out, or you could put like 3 level 10s out if you want. Like there's a lot of like you can play how you want to play, and I really enjoy those types of games, and they're kind of underrated. No one really talks about those kind of games, so I guess I will be its champion.
Okay.
And,
all right.
I love Disgaea. Disgaea 5 is on PS4, if you guys want to check that out. I think they're redoing the first Disgaea as well. And there's a bunch on the Vita if you want to play portable. They've been around since like the PlayStation 2 era.
Okay.
So it's a long-running series. Really funny, and it's goofy, and it's a cool strategy game. I like it.
Interesting. Strategy
RPG game.
Yeah, I'm going to say I was not interested by anything you just said, but I appreciate...
Like chess?
Nah, not really.
You're not a chess guy? No. Seemed like you'd be into that chess.
I'm not really into, I mean, I like board games, but I like more like Clue, or like...
Yeah, okay. Maybe you wouldn't like it. But, yeah, you probably wouldn't like it then. But it's good.
It sounds like it would be fun, just not for me personally.
Yeah, I think it would be if you got a chance to play it. I think I'm just describing it really terribly,
Maybe.
Which is on par.
It sounds like a game I would probably like for my Switch.
Yeah, it's great for portable stuff.
Like, I don't think I would sit down and play it on my console, but I would probably play a portable version of it.
Yeah, but that's like the type of game you could pick up, play just one match, and be fine with. Mm-hmm. Or you could play it for 10 years. So it's like never ending. You can just keep going and going with it. It's crazy. Like there's like an unlimited amount of like characters you can have.
That's cool.
Really awesome. So, want to give us your last one?
Yes.
And then we have some honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Okay, so my last one is also, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the podcast before, but my favorite game of all time. It is Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater.
Yes.
So Metal Gear Solid 3 is a pretty straightforward game, but there is so much hidden and unlockable content that
a ridiculous amount.
It's insane. So you can play this game over and over and over again and still find new hidden stuff, because Hideo Kojima is a goddamn evil genius.
Yeah.
And just hide stuff. So backtracking a little bit, the game itself is phenomenal. Best storyline I've ever played in my life. It wrenches your heart. It makes you feel like no other game will make you feel. There's a twist. There's a turn. And there's so much diverse gameplay that it keeps you active, and I love the different boss fights and
the camo, and
the different camos. Making sure you're eating properly. Yeah, exactly.
All the secrets and hidden, stuff.
Hitting all the squeak toy frogs.
Yeah.
To unlock what did you unlock from that? I forget exactly what it was. It was like an ultimate weapon or something, I think, or maybe like an ultimate camo.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what it unlocks, but there's so many unlockables. That I've played that game probably more than any other game. Like as far as like a story based game, because obviously I said before WWE I played the most, but as far as a story based game goes, I've probably played this the most over. I've easily played it 5-6 times.
It's crazy because you mentioned, because I was obsessed with the PSP one, Peace Walker.
Peace Walker is fantastic, and it's also a direct sequel to Snake Eater. Yeah,
yes, so good.
Peace Walker is very good.
That's another one that's just like endless because you can do like the multiplayer.
Yeah,
and
I didn't play it on Vita, but when they re-released the collection on the Xbox 360, which contained Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Peace Walker.
Yeah.
So, and it was like $30. I'm like, what the hell? That's a fantastic deal. And Metal Gear Solid 2 is such a good game, but Metal Gear Solid 3 just has so much more content, and you can easily, finding new ways to complete each level, and it's got to be a fun speedrunning game. I got to look up to see if there's a fun speedrun for that game.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Like, you ever watch, like, Awesome Games Done Quick or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those guys do crazy stuff. I wonder if they've ever done a Metal Gear Solid 3 run-through.
We'll have to check that out.
I would definitely like to watch that.
Yeah, I love the Metal Gear franchise, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
that was one I would have probably not... Just because when you think of those games, you don't necessarily think that.
Yeah.
But with the third one, yeah, good call.
Yeah, the third one's my all-time favorite game. Best in the series by far, in my opinion. Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Okay, so you had an honorable mention, and then I'll throw my just my mollywop of honorable mentions at you real quick.
Yes. Well, my honorable mention will go to, the reason why I didn't mention it is just because it comes out every year. NHL, pretty much. Just
okay.
When the new NHL game comes out, it's like you got to play season.
Yeah, because you're a big hockey guy.
Yes. Let's go Rangers. Yeah, I love it. I love starting the whole franchise, becoming the GM and, see, trade players that you actually want on the team and, you can play and, it's like, okay, what if that guy who didn't get traded to the freaking Blackhawks or something? Really cool. I love the NHL games. I play them every year. I probably have, from 93 on, I've played all of them. So, and I have most of the ones, like the 2K one, I guess the EA ones now, but I have probably from 12 on. So yeah, I have a lot of them, but, I love those games. I wouldn't bring it up because it's a hockey game. It comes out every year, but I'm obsessed with those games a lot of the year. So
it's similar to my wrestling game. Yeah. It comes out every year, but I still buy it every year.
Still get it. Sometimes I always say okay, I'll take a year off and then I'll get the next one because the changes aren't enough to validate a purchase. But I end up biting the bullet anyway. Yeah. So,
but you will play with your friends who are playing it and stuff, and.
Yeah, you want to get it while it's relevant, I guess. Yeah. Sorta. But it's fun to get anytime. And if a lot of times they'll have some pretty good sales if you wait a little while for them. So.
Yeah. So I have reasons for all the honorable mentions I have and why I didn't include them. So my first one is Guitar Hero.
Okay.
I love Guitar Hero, one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Great party game.
It's a great party game. You can even throw Rock Band in there, but Guitar Hero is always my favorite. I like the controller better on Guitar Hero than Rock Band. Mm-hmm. Just better for me. But it's a score-based game. Yeah. You replay it because it's a score-based game.
Yeah.
It's a fun party game. So in that way, yes, you're playing a lot of it, but it's not necessarily. You're not coming back to do more. It's just like you just want to get a better score. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily deserving of a spot on the list, but I've definitely poured a lot of hours into Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Especially Guitar Hero Ultimate. Warriors of Rock and Metallica were my 2 favorite ones.
Of course.
Especially my favorite song of all time to play on Guitar Hero is Expert Mode. Merciful Fate. Not the band, but the song by Metallica. The medley. That's real fun to play. My favorite song of all time to play.
What else?
The Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
A lot of hidden stuff to do. Riddler trophies and stuff. The only reason I didn't include it on the game, on my list, is because...
Stupid Batmobile missions, bro.
That's 1 game out of 3. The only reason I didn't put it on my list is because I never actually did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're fantastic games, and I think they deserve a mention, but I never actually put in the time to do the trophies.
Okay.
So they're
what else?
Kingdom Hearts 2. I just finished it, but as I mentioned before during my intro, there's a lot of extra stuff to do. Yeah. So I think that should be mentioned. Leveling up your character, all the data battles, all the collecting of the items, the puzzle pieces. Okay. Crazy amount of stuff, completing Jiminy's Journal. Yeah. And then, last but not least, one of my other favorite series of all time is the Sly Cooper series. Specifically, Sly Cooper 1. Mm-hmm. Sly Cooper 1 had a lot of fun collectibles, the messages in the bottle, all the clues to unlocking each of the safes. Personally, I love them, and I've replayed these games over and over again because I love it. I wouldn't say that everybody has the same love for it that I do. That's why I didn't make my list. But fantastic games, a lot of cool unlockables, just not as much as like other games.
Yeah, I appreciate that because there was that stuff, but not like they didn't overdo it, which I appreciated. Because then there's those games where there's just a billion collectibles.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed and Grand Theft Auto with the freaking pigeons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'll be about do it for this episode.
Absolutely. So, what we want from you guys is, please, if you have any suggestions of topics that you'd like for us to, to cover in future episodes, please send those in. Like I said before, you can contact us over any social network that we listed before. They're all in the description down below. Mm-hmm. Once again, big ups to Geeked Up Comics and Games for letting us record here every week.
Yep.
We're so grateful to them. And yeah, if you guys have any comments on this week's episode, please send them on in. We want to hear what your favorite game to replay is. What game can you not put down? It's like, Brian, how can you not mention Super Smash Brothers? I play tournaments every weekend. Then you have a very valid point, because Super Smash Brothers is a fantastic game.
I wouldn't say that, but sure, yeah. Tell us why Hot Shots Golf should have been on the list.
There you go. That's a good one, too.
Let us know in the comments below.
Oh, that rhymed. That's a good way to end the episode.
You're welcome for that.
All right, guys. Peace out. We will see you next Friday.
Bye.